examination. It may involve adult themes and strong language. This is the Curse of Penance RPG.
Welcome to episode 20 of the Curse of Penance RPG podcast. I am your host, the Swedish Robot. This is the first Outtakes and Extras episode. This week it is a Q&A with the cast. The Q&A also features Mats, a friend of Nikoli who assisted in breaking down the source materials, so Nikoli could rebuild it in his own way for the podcast. Also, AJ was absent for this recording. We hope you enjoy this bonus materials.
Who are you? What are you? And what is your least favourite thing in the world? Starting with Tubbs.
Hello, my name is Tubbs and I am very sad because it's the end of Curse of Penance and I've enjoyed doing this accent and I'll have to think up another one for the future. My least favourite thing in the world is motherfucking oats. As in like, and I'm gonna be controversial and lose some friends here and I don't give a fuck because hobnobs are the shittest of biscuits, flapjacks can fuck off, and porridge is disgusting. And the reason...
Oh my god! Oh no, porridge is lifeblood.
No, because porridge looks like baby sick and tastes like nothing. The sole purpose of porridge is to be... Okay.
You're wrong.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Let me ask...
Give him a soapbox, you can push him off after.
Porridge is shit.
Let me ask Meg and Rosie this question. I assume because you love porridge so much you're eating it plain, right?
No.
What you put in your porridge?
I have a little bit of cinnamon and a banana.
Exactly. You're using porridge as a mechanism to do syrup or banana. I would argue that you don't like porridge, you like having like a soup made of those things, or a syrup soup or a banana soup. And then like hobnobs, when you dunk them, they just go like slightly jellified, so they're like having like half solid porridge has been left out overnight.
Hobnobs. I have porridge like nearly every day and I have not been sick for about 10 months.
I've not been sick like 10 months and I don't eat porridge.
That is
every day, but I can't be asked to make it.
It's not the same since Ready Break went under. You got the nuclear porridge.
Porridge is shit, but flapjacks are great. Right, okay. Flapjacks and gravy is quite good actually.
Oh
Gravy.
my god, what?
Do you see what kind of weirdos like porridge?
And hobnobs are okay, but hobnobs in and of themselves are not a joke.
I'm just horrified by the fact that you put gravy with flapjacks.
I mean,
It's a rare occurrence.
You mean like Besto gravy?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Right, I was in the school.
Dragon is typing, that's how you know something's wrong.
I was a small little child then.
I'm so disgusted
I was
right
in
now.
school.
Bit flapjack.
And had you played, I had flapjack for dessert and I'd just finished my dinner, which included gravy. In a moment of curiosity, I was like, oh, I could dip this flapjack in some of that leftover gravy.
You basically
mentioned nothing gained, and I did it, and it was nice.
It was like that episode of Friends when Joey's eating the half trifle, half
pie,
cottage pie or something like that. Rachel had made. It's like
flapjacks are like practically an honorary savoury food.
Oh,
I mean, that's how shit they are.
Are we talking homemade flapjacks, or are we talking like shop-bought flapjacks?
I mean, it was whatever they served at the school lunches.
says shovel.
So, I know, I
So,
think they
yeah.
actually made them.
Bulk made one.
My question is this. If I offered you a piece of millionaire shortbread, and I'll come back to that, remind me. Piece of millionaire shortbread or a flapjack, nobody would take the flapjack. Flapjacks and hobnobs are just the least objectionable alternative to
Technically, I might, because I find millionaire shortbread incredibly sweet at the moment.
well,
Millionaire
fine.
shortbread is
But
great.
It
but
can be
you
nice
don't
at times,
have
but it can be oversweet.
Like, that's like saying, would you rather have a steak bake or a corned beef pasty?
Okay,
Like, obviously you want the steak bake, but that doesn't mean the corned beef
Really?
pasty isn't very good.
imagine.
I would probably have the corned beef pasty actually, because it's tastier. I've only had them like
Look,
2 or
you
3
don't
times.
have my point.
All I'm saying is, you know that point in your life where you're really hungry for something sweet, and so you dig out the cooking chocolate. That's what the hobnob is to the biscuit.
I've been free of cooking chocolate since I was about 12.
But
Quite glad of this.
I'm glad thank you, Dragon. Dragon knows. Now, millionaire shortbread. I'm fucked off about that as well, because the canteen where I work. So, like, I've seen like billionaire shortbread before, which is like super fancy millionaire shortbread. The canteen where I work sells trillionaire shortbread now, and is literally a piece of millionaire shortbread with a little bit of white chocolate dribbled on the top. That's not fucking even billionaire. That's barely
So,
millionaire shortbread.
I
It's
thought
not
it would
fucking...
be like dipped back in chocolate or something if they were
Exactly, but no. It's not even any better. It's just fucking white chocolate vaguely dribbled on top of it.
Well, would you not think most trillionaires or billionaires have most of the things they like to cover in a small white puddle?
I mean, I suppose. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's
Well,
not the
we're
cocaine or
discussing-
semen.
While we're discussing tray bakes, Rocky Road is shit in a low tier.
Yeah, I don't
True
like
bake.
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road is great, but...
No.
And
It's-
talking of things we hate, John, welcome to today's episode of Things That Tubbs Thinks Are Wank. Anyone who puts fruit in my cake or biscuits, including Rocky Road.
No, fruit.
No.
No, fruit's fine.
It's the
Well,
perfect
no, not all
fucking
fruit.
Right. So what if I offered you a pecan and raspberry cookie?
I would tell you to go fuck yourself and get me a proper cookie.
That's rude.
Oh my god, that's so mean.
I know,
And what?
that's
right.
it.
Are you telling me no cake with fruit in it?
Nope.
What about like a
I
strawberry
hate fruitcake
shortcake?
in fairness.
I
no,
hate
no.
raisins. I hate raisins.
Not a
with
fruit
passion.
cake. Not a fruit cake, but like a sponge cake with like fucking strawberries on the top.
If it's got like jam in it, I'll deal it with jam, because jam's not a fruit.
Oh my
What
god.
about a blueberry muffin?
No, as in
Oh my
jam is just
Also,
the soul of
jam-
it's the soul of strawberries covered in sugar.
You have to boil it first.
Exactly, that's how you get souls out of things.
So it's still.
With loads of sugar
What
though.
you're saying is,
Right.
if fruit still has a soul, you don't want to eat it.
Exactly.
Would you
Right.
say that a beef stew is meat food? It's like a meat food.
I would not. No, I'd say it's a soul of beef. Mainly because I know your arguments rely on me saying yes. But yes, it is because
Jam
it
is
has
to stew, is the strawberry is to beef.
only if you like
As once.
blitzed up. If you blitzed up the beef, then maybe.
So what you're saying is, if you blitz up the fruit and put it through something, if you're not aware of it, you would eat it.
I mean,
You
I
say the chicken
don't
soup
object.
is vegetarian.
I don't object that strongly, to be honest. I just don't like biting it. Like, my mum, bless her, used to make cakes when we were little, and we come home and there'd be like nice warm cakes on the side, and it'd be amazing. But 50% of the time they'd have raisins, and 50% of that time they'd have chocolate chips, and it basically, a lot of the distrust I have in life comes from that.
At least you didn't grow up in the era that had like silver balls through it. They fucking broke your teeth.
Oh man, I love those little silver balls.
The only
I
one
bet you do.
is the lemon drizzle cake is trash tier cake. That's a bad cake. Lemon drizzle
Excuse
is
me.
trash tier.
Right,
Lemon.
I'm not-
No, just look at really.
okay.
Until you've had lime and courgette cake, you've actually not had
Oh
it.
god.
That's actually surprisingly nice.
It is.
Apparently,
so
beetroot works really well in
Yeah,
cake. I'm
it does.
told. It
Yeah.
makes it really chocolatey.
You just
Love
can't
beetroot.
taste. Yeah, you can't taste it. However, all I'm going to say, and this is out of character now, because it's very serious. The fact that Belry just said the lemon drizzle cake is trash tier means I need to go last because I need to write him entirely out of my story. Because I'm retconning.
No, right, right. You just said that cakes with fruit in them, it. But you like lemon drizzle cake. That's no,
Lemon
that's a
juice is the
double
soul of
standard.
lemon juice is the soul of a lemon. I said soulless fruits were fine. I'm very texture driven, so like
Texture driven.
if it's a weird texture, it puts me off. Like I'm gonna throw it out there. I have a weird phobia of white sandwiches, just like cut into triangles.
You're a
Go
toddler.
figure.
White sandwiches.
Just I won't eat a sandwich. If someone made me a sandwich, I wouldn't eat it.
Don't
You
like
want these
normal
to-
bread, I only like crusty bread.
I'd eat Subway, I'd eat crusty bread. If I make it, I'm fucking fine. If someone makes me a sandwich, I can't eat it. It makes me gag.
They cut into triangles, they just threaten you.
I mean, and welcome to the section that won't make the thing, because it's Tubbs being vaguely ableist as a child. So basically,
Yes.
I really, now I need this to not make the final cut, because one day, someone might go through what I've said online before, and I'm okay with this up until this point. Cause,
You're okay with everything you've said up to this point?
oh yeah, because that was
Right.
Tubbs. That's fine, that was Tubbs.
Phrase them.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway,
However,
enough about-
are you a degenerate that cuts his sandwiches into squares then?
no, I don't know. You don't need to.
Hang on,
Like-
what?
I don't really.
Squares- No, triangles are the optimal shape for a sandwich.
I mean, they're not because
People
you don't
who
get
cut them into
no.
squares are wrong.
I'm sorry, but no. If you got a square,
Sorry.
you're getting you get 2 good bites per square, and both have a substantial amount of crust in. If you're doing it with a
No.
triangle, you get like a bunch of like no crust, and then suddenly it's just 100% crust. Do you
What
know what,
do you
Belry?
triangle
I can
is
see.
bread.
The
I
triangle
can
is
see why Tubbs and Karen didn't work out.
the triangle is better for dipping into soups, and
I mean,
it's
that's
a
it.
more to like bite from. Like a square, it's uniform. There's no obvious place to bite. But
You
if
get
have
less-
a triangle,
less
you've got
crust.
If you bite the square in the right
Yeah,
place, you create a
quite-
triangle.
Only if you have very straight teeth.
Yeah, you would create a crescent at best, surely.
Let's play a game called How Much is Asking What Tubbs Hates.
Okay, carry on.
Game.
Right, what's your thoughts on butter on bread then? Go.
Yes, on bread to eat. No, in a sandwich because that's fucking gross.
Okay. Because I'm probably the... I have this fight in my family often because I'm one of the people I don't eat butter at all.
Like
Like
if I go to the
I have
bakery,
sandwiches and they're just dry, or they've got like other stuff on them. They don't have
yeah,
butter. I don't
I'll have
butter.
if I'm having like a cheese sandwich, I'll have another sauce in it. Like I'll have mayo or something. But if I go to the bakery and pick up a nice cut loaf or an uncut loaf even, because let's be honest, the joy of having bakery bread is having a slice that looks like a wedge. Because that's half the fun. Then I'll cover it in butter. The woman in the bakery the other day literally said to me, "Would you like me to cut it into slices?" I said, "No thanks, I like cutting it at home because I like wonky slices." And I thought that was funny.
Aw, so cute.
Hey Meg,
Yeah.
if someone walked into a bakery and said, "Don't cut it because I like wonky slices," on a scale of 1 to very, how much of a knob would you think they are?
Not very, because they can just buy the bread off the shelf and not bother me at all. It's
Oh.
only when they actually want it sliced that they bother me, unless they're sliced, because there's already pre-sliced bread on the shelf.
Oh, fine.
So,
When you say you don't like butter, do you mean butter or margarine? Because there's a big difference.
anything.
See, I like
Good butter's
both.
the best.
Yeah, good butter.
No, good butter's great.
Right, I
It's
don't
been-
like
yeah.
once in a blue moon, and I do literally mean in a blue moon. I do crave like bread and butter with soup. That's it. Never any other time, and I don't put salt in cooking either, which annoys Belry.
I mean, that's
It
do
does.
you know what? That's heathen.
Yeah,
It's like one of the basic things of cooking is to fucking season your food.
yeah, I don't put salt in it.
He's salty
It's
enough, isn't
coming
it?
Yeah,
people
I've
like
enough
pasta.
distemper for myself. I don't need
Right.
it. Right. Now we've got through Matt. Belry!
I'm not done
Right.
yet. I'm halfway there.
Oh fuck, okay, carry on.
No, I'm.
Because I'm too outraged to think of something. Thanks. Well, howdy. Karen Lebowski. I am the
You
number
cut out a
one
bit
mother
there, we
in-
didn't get your name.
No, she's changed it. It's now just Karen the
Oh.
Boss.
Mouse.
It's like French for like Karen the Boss.
I am Karen Lebowski, the boss of all of Barovia now. And what I really hate, and this is gonna sound contrary to what I just said, is I just kind of hate children. Children are the absolute worst. And I want to
I thought
clarify.
you
I want to clarify. I don't mean any individual one child children. I mean children as a collective. a group of any
The
like,
horde.
You mean a sort of
yeah,
ragtag
like,
gathering of
yeah,
children?
A herd of children.
In the same way, people are the worst.
A nursery field trip.
People are
Yeah.
the worst if herded
Right.
together like sheep.
Like
Yeah.
children are loud and rude and brash and the dirty open cheese sandwiches and throw them all across the floor, like and like don't clean enough for themselves, and the parents think it's alright to just leave that shit
Well,
for
surely
like,
that's the
someone
parents'
probably
fault for not
making.
clearing up after the child rather than the child.
Well, no, but well, maybe the children shouldn't have thrown the fucking cheese sandwich all over the floor in the first place.
Or they
Yes,
just
the
leave
parents are
random.
Sometimes you
just
don't.
bad.
Sometimes you don't see them drop it because
Yeah,
you're
but-
trying to live your life.
But then you get
Right.
parents who leave, like, they come to your restaurant and they leave, like, just like, oh, I bought my child a yogurt. And you're like, well, we'd rather you didn't, but fine, whatever, your child might have needs. So you just leave their shit on the table as well, like, oh, I'll leave this
Yes,
yogurt.
that is also very irritating. And also,
rude.
like 2 weeks ago, there was this group of like I think it was like 2 families like having because, and the families are just sitting in the restaurant eating the food while the kids are running around in the bar. And like, look, keep an eye on your fucking kids. I'm not a babysitter.
Wrong to take your kids to the pub. Like, I used to have to do that when I was little, and I
Why not?
fucking never do it now.
Restaurant as well, and like that's fine. But don't just leave your kids to run around in the bar.
Or like a zoo
Also-
when they just ham on the glass.
Yes, that's it. We should all children in cages like at a zoo. Also, speaking of, cereal is shit as well because it's either too dry or too soggy. There's no such thing as the optimal cereal.
Ah,
What
no,
about
right.
a cereal
Cereal.
bar,
Fucking
though?
no, don't
No,
anybody
cereal's
even
amazing.
mention Cookie Crisps because that is the biggest lie I was ever sold as a child.
Frosted chilies, but no, if I have a cereal, it'll be a bowl of cereal, a glass of milk, put some cereal in the mouth, bit of milk, wait till it goes to perfect sogginess, eat, done.
What?
Takes like,
Are you a psychopath?
This is like the end of Get Out when she's got the bowl of 2 different types of cereal and the glass of milk separately.
yeah, so yeah, I will have it separately because you're right, because it starts off too dry, and then by the time you get to like, you get like 1 spoonful of good stuff, and then it's all too soggy. So, bowl of cereal, glass of milk, bit of each, boom, done.
Why wouldn't you just have some like nice buttered toast or toast with jam or toast with like
You know
what
how
do
to
you call
like
it?
Because
Like
some
cream cheese
people
and
don't feel-
salmon and scrambled eggs on top.
Because some people don't have the time to make such things or the expense to make such things because cereal is
Sweet.
significantly cheaper.
To be fair, I also rarely make cereal
Yeah.
at breakfast.
In fairness, I've started living on Weetabix, so I can't say anything.
Yeah, it's for a brief period at uni, I did live on Weetabix
I literally just live on Weetabix.
with a lot of sugar.
No.
Again, Weetabix, not a good cereal, just a good mechanism to drink sugary milk.
No,
Yes.
I don't think I have that much sugar on it at all. Because, well, being
Cauliflower.
diabetic and all, there's no point.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Cauliflower is nothing but a cheese delivery mechanism.
Exactly. See,
A what?
cauliflower.
Cheese delivery mechanism.
For what?
And people who like make fucking cauliflower crust pizzas and cauliflower rice are just lying to themselves.
Yep,
What?
I have tried all of
I
those
missed
things.
What is the cheese delivery system?
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Ugh.
I love that
I've
shit.
thrown
I love
cauliflower
everything you
through
guys are
chicken
talking about.
I love cauliflower cheese.
I hate cauliflower and cheese. I hate it.
I've never had cauliflower cheese, and I'm glad of this. But I have diced cauliflower and thrown it through
Nice.
like food.
But cauliflower is like porridge in that Belry is absolutely right. It's literally just a mechanism to shove more tasty food into your face. that
I
is
love it. It's so
It's
good.
unacceptable for me to sit there and eat
I
a
might eat
bowl of
cauliflower by
melted
itself.
cheese. No, that's weird. It's unacceptable
You
to sit
never
there
heard
and eat,
of... Right,
like,
Tubbs, I'm gonna blow your mind.
if you're going to say fondue, you
called
dunk
fondue.
bread, mate. You dunk bread into that.
Yeah, because, like... Or
As
else
long
you
as it's
just
not
scald
cut in
yourself
triangles.
cooking up molten cheese.
You're dunking bread into cauliflower cheese.
No, just cheese
Oh.
for fondue.
Yeah. Do you know what I want? I want, it's a... I think is what you call it. It's literally just, you get, like, a half of a wheel of cheese, and you stick it onto a big heated spike, and it just melts over like potatoes and bread, and I want one.
Oh, hard
Oh, like raclette.
Yeah, no, raclette's is a type of cheese, but
Yeah,
I think
that's right.
is it
So-
roulade that
Yeah,
you call
see-
the spike?
I don't know, but the bit where you grill like the top layer and just slide it off. Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, have you seen those things that you get and it's like a little square pan and it's heated by like literally a tea light and you just put cheese on it and like the
Yeah.
sandwiches?
They're my favourite.
You
I kind of want one. They're like a
um,
tenner off Amazon. I don't know why I haven't
what
bought
they
one
call-
now. 1 sec, give us 10 minutes.
So last week we all bought Dungeons and Puppies. Puppies and...
Yeah, now, hang on, I'll tell you how long we've been recording. We're now on 20 minutes and we haven't even got through the second person's introduction.
I hate a lot of things. You keep going, I'm gonna get a drink.
1,000.
Why do I feel like throughout this whole conversation that Rosie is like the grown-up who's here to look after us?
Right.
I really want one of them, but I also can't justify like 120 quid.
Yeah, but just get the tea light one, it'll be fine.
I have just ordered one.
What the fuck? You just ordered one of these?
Oh, I ordered one of these.
Oh my god.
The 150 quid cheese thing.
No,
No,
20 quid.
Alright, I thought you meant one of the
20.
things that you just linked first.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it a sun lamp for cheese?
The first one is kind of...
The first one is
Basically
a
just
sun
like-
lamp for cheese.
It just keeps the
keeps
top
the
nice and
cheese and it
crispy and
just
like
sort-
melty. So you just slide
and
it
it
off
just sloughs off onto like butter, and not butter, bread, or like potatoes.
or just
delicious.
into
Do
your
you not have
mouth.
to eat like the whole block for it to... Does
No,
it
because it's
reset
not.
well?
It's not. Yeah, like cheese usually like you just like slough off all of the like melted stuff, and then the stuff that's not melted you just put in the fridge, I guess.
But how many times can you reheat the same block of cheese?
Well, so it's only on the top, so as long as you get rid of the top layer, you're fine.
Yeah, but...
Although, if you melt cheese,
As someone with an immunology
then-
degree, that freaks me out.
It looks
If
like
you
some little
melt
torture
cheese-
device.
Yeah.
if you melt
Right.
cheese, solidify it again, then melt it again. The quaternary nature of some cheeses is slightly poisonous and will make you sick.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
don't do that.
I will never understand why someone would pay 190 quid for a cheese melter.
Because cheese is fucking delicious.
It is a bit
It's not even
sour,
190,
though.
it's 200 quid because you got 20 quid for delivery as well. Jesus.
Right. One of the favourite things I've ever made is called tartafelti. Actually, like a little casserole, and what it is you cook onions and bacon in garlic and white wine, and you do some boiled potatoes, and you slice those. You do like a layer of your bacon and onions, layer of potatoes, layer of bacon and onions, layers of potatoes, and then you take like a French cheese, like a brie or a camembert, or you're supposed to cheese called roublachon, but it's hard to get hold of. So you can usually just use like any other French cheese, and you bake it, and it's fucking delicious.
So you're just basically making a lasagna only using potatoes instead of pasta.
I mean, I guess it is like a real recipe. It's not something that I made up, but yes, I guess it is like a French cheese lasagna.
Right. Next one, right, ready, right. Meg.
Hi, I'm Amy. I play Meghren, and I hate things being out of order. I'm a bit OCD, so if I do something, I can't stop. So I sometimes hate that. That's about it. I don't really know. What else?
Okay. And Rosie.
I'm Rosie, the human fighter, and I hate the summer because it's too hot and too bright. Because I don't know, I think I have like the opposite of sad. Seasonal transmitted disorder, but in the summer. Because it gets to like 9 o'clock, I'm like, oh come on, fucking hurry up! Like I'm fed up with this sun. But I don't think I'd do well in Scotland or Sweden, or because I just hate it.
Yep. It's far too bright recently. Okay.
Right. Sorry, I'm buying a fan off Amazon,
Fuck's sake.
and I've got a choice of nominated delivery, free standard delivery, or free expedited delivery. Why would I choose anything else?
Because
Why would
it's
you even like have that as
Because
an option?
you might not be into it.
You might not want it like tomorrow, you might want it like in a couple of days' time.
Maybe you're not in.
Why would I be ordering a fan and not want it tomorrow? It's fucking really hot.
Maybe you're on holiday and you're like, man, I really need to get a fan. 'cause
Maybe
the fan
you know you're going to be
outside."
somewhere and you're like, man, when I get there I'm going to need a fan, but I'm not there till Tuesday, so I'm not going to order it till Tuesday.
Like they'll just leave it like next to the plant pot by your front door or something.
Not everyone's as trusting as you,
And
Mr.
then-
Baggins.
And then when I live in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere, admittedly, but also like then I'll have a fan waiting for us when I get home in this hypothetical situation.
It's just one of those things.
Why would they not offer it though? Looks like they look like sale for more options.
Well, as someone who doesn't have Prime, I usually just get the free delivery regardless, so there is a difference for me.
Really? I thought you were going to say Pride?
Yeah, I don't
I
get
haven't
Pride.
got pride.
I don't get Pride. I am Pride. Now that's all out of the way. Does anyone have any questions they wish to ask each other?
I do.
Oh
So
wait,
given
and
the-
before we do this, we should
Oh.
probably introduce Mads.
Hi, Mads.
Hello, sorry for you listening to all of this.
Hi, yeah. Well, I don't hear it before it's edited, so this has been enlightening.
Yes, this has been an hour that will be cut down to like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Even all the arguing is in flapjacks, though.
that might all just go into. There's
Bonus
probably going to
features.
be one like, here's all the stuff we cut out, as in the stuff that wasn't relevant. Otherwise known as, here's like an hour of the Cursecasters arguing about things. Because I think
But
I
anyway-
already have like a good 40 minutes or something on that one. I've not properly looked at it yet.
When are we doing the ASMR episode?
Right now.
Welcome to
I thought we did that when I had the ice lolly.
Curse.
Welcome to Curse of Penance RPG.
But, anyway, hi.
And what?
Oh, I forgot you
Welcome to a normal.
So,
I did come prepared with an icebreaker.
Icebreaker, oh god.
Because these guys obviously don't know me at all. But
I've met you once.
Okay, Belry knows me when
Actually,
he
you've
showed
met
up with
Rosie
his...
as well.
Have I?
Yeah.
Possibly. Okay, so these guys don't know me very well at all.
I don't know you at all.
Actually, you've met everyone here apart from Matt.
Well, there you go then. Let's do a
You've met
motherfucking icebreaker.
AJ, yeah. You've met
Okay.
AJ a
You
few
met
years,
everyone
yeah.
apart from Matt, yeah.
Here is
Icebreaker.
my icebreaker, which is almost specifically designed for Matt. Yesterday, on the other side of Glasgow from my usual hunting grounds, and I came across an establishment called Galatily and Tubbs. And can you guess what sort of establishment this is?
Called what?
Galatily and Tubbs.
If it's not a sex shop, I'm very disappointed.
It's not, but you will not be disappointed.
Did they sell furniture made from the corpse?
Well, they sell furniture. It is in fact a furniture shop called Tubbs.
Fuck, that's so cool.
So clearly something has somehow permeated the ether and this now exists. There is furniture branded by Tubbs.
Can we do them for
Let's-
copyright?
Let's write them and see if they'll sponsor us.
Dear Tubbs shop, you do furniture. Tubbs does furniture.
We
Do
make
you
jokes about
fancy
making furniture out
crafting
of
some
dead
to look
people.
like bones?
Oh my god. Line of like furniture aimed at really goth kids. And call it Tubbs' necrocarpentry.
That's brilliant.
Is that going to be our merch line? Available from all good stores.
Well,
That would be
no,
really
available
good.
mail order, maybe.
That is awesome, man. I'm very happy to hear that the Tubbs legacy will live on.
You're very welcome.
It's fair, maybe made of bone. I imagine most of it's upholstered. And like, logs are just bones of trees.
Well, not this discussion again.
I feel like this has come up before, yeah.
Yes, it has.
If you made it like a chair out of an ent, would that technically be necrocarpentry?
It would. It's like making jam out of strawberries. You have to take the soul out of it,
It
and then
depends. Do
it's.
you keep the face of the ant?
It's necro cooking.
Necro cucking.
Yeah, jam. If you make necro
Oh,
cooking.
right. I thought you said necro cucking.
Cooking.
Never mind.
Not watching your partner have sex with a corpse.
Oh god. Welcome to bits that won't make the final cut.
You hope.
I can't have a career ever.
But for the listeners who still don't know who I am, I've spent the past 20 weeks sacrificing my friendship with Nikoli to decide what we're going to make these idiots do.
Nice. I resent idiots. Like
Resent
Rosie is
what?
pretty smart. Yeah.
To be fair.
I mean, we did stab that corpse.
We didn't. Oh yeah, that corpse. Yeah.
We
we
next
did.
stabbed the corpse, yeah.
I thought you talked about the baby again.
No.
Which corpse?
Which corpse?
Which
Oh, that
corpse?
corpse. Yeah, we tapped that corpse.
No, do you know what? Let's ask each other a question. Meg,
Yes.
what were the name of some of the songs you wrote about Karen and Tubbs?
See, I didn't write songs, but I wrote like song titles.
Okay.
So I've got The Imp and the Harlot.
Fucking hell.
I'm not that shocked to be an imp.
I've got Oh Fuck, I'm on Fire.
Nice.
And another one was Punching.
It's Oh Fuck I'm on Fire, like one of those songs where it's like, it just literally repeats that line, like the whole song, like
No,
And
it wasn't.
it just gets faster and faster.
I think so, yeah. But it's also got like this different stages of like how she got on fire. I think.
I didn't
Like
set
it starts
Meg
off.
on fire.
It starts off with like, yeah, we went into a dungeon, and then it like carries on until she's
Wow.
We went into a dungeon and fuck,
Yeah.
I'm now on fire.
Yeah,
really-
oh fuck, I'm on
That's what it'll be.
fire.
It'll just be that, and the first line will always be, "Oh fuck, I'm now on fire," and then
Surely
the
it's
rest of the
Billy
song will go
Joel.
after that.
Pretty
Oh
much.
fuck, I'm now on fire.
We've got tobacco burns, and punching your lights out,
Nice.
and then another one's called concussion.
Yeah, no, I do want to just use this opportunity to make a public thing. Punching people in the face as a joke is all well and good on a comedy podcast, but don't do it in real life because you'll give people a concussion and then they'll die.
Yes.
Do you have a similar statement to make about punching padlocks?
Yeah. If you're ever breaking in somewhere, don't punch the padlock because it will hurt your hands. Tubbs does these things so you don't have to. Don't Tubbs it up. Use the key.
All stunts performed in the Curse of Penance RPG are for comedy and entertainment purposes. Please do not imitate the actions performed therein.
I think I put this at the start of the whole thing. It's like, don't attempt to copy it. People are, either trained actors or too stupid to know better.
Please, also do not try and clothesline swans.
Yeah, don't try and clothesline swans.
Yeah.
Can break
Or
it
forget
down.
that they can fly.
Or
Yeah,
forget-
remember,
well,
if you-
it's helpful if you can forget they fly. That's fine, but don't try
If
and
you leave your
clothesline
friends alone for 5 minutes, they'll make something into a swan and forget it can fly.
Do swans actually fly, though? I've never seen a swan.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Definitely.
A lot of them get their wings clipped so they can't.
So
Otherwise, they fuck off and fly for miles.
If I'm the queen
Meg,
of Queen now, does that mean I own all the swans?
So here's an interesting thing I was reading about the other day. Basically, because obviously the Queen is immune to prosecution, there is a royal swan counter and a royal swan carer whose job it is to make sure all the swans are okay. Which means if you get eaten by a swan or bitten by a swan, you can sue him but not the Queen because he has culpable responsibility for the swans. There you go.
Ask Meg a question.
Alright.
Friends with Karen, though.
I think she more tolerated Karen than anything else.
I felt like you two got on quite well.
I think she
I
kind of
shared
did.
cigarettes with you.
You did, but you turned and you went with the Lich and made a deal with the Lich, so it's like, no.
To be fair, I got it for a really deal.
Yeah, I mean, Meg owns a tavern now, and Karen owns a kingdom with a bunch of taverns in it.
Meg's quite happy with her tavern, it's her little castle.
Early on, though, there was a lot of mentorship from Karen to Meg, like, this is how you thief, and here's a necklace, and I will help you steal this teeth.
That's very true.
Exactly.
Never meet your heroes.
Makeup.
Well, I can't make up with her now because she's like a tyrannical leader, so.
Barovia will invade your homeland one day.
To be fair, like,
When Karen
all
needs
the
a small
celebrity-
place to store all their tobacco.
to be fair, basketballers go to North Korea.
Yeah.
What?
I bet it's pretty cushy for the basketballers. So if Meghren, that's my boss.
Oh, hello there, Megan.
If Meg
approve
came to
of Karen?
Barovia, then she'd probably be have a good time of it.
I don't know.
In the same way as it would be like a basketballer going to North Korea. They'd be slightly uncomfortable, but they'd be treated really well.
And she'd probably want to leave as quickly as possible. You've taken over a country and it's got a bit worse than when we left. Okay.
Did you know that Karen invented golf and tells the sun when to rise?
Where's Tyler?
Yeah, I don't know
bring
what's to
Tyler.
do with Tyler. They don't have theories, because my theory is Tyler never existed.
I have a theory that Tyler did exist, but he tragically died and it sent Karen into a delusion. That's what I think.
That's dark.
To be honest, I never
My theory is
decided-
that he ran away to live with his dad.
Which one?
Yeah, I never decided what happened to Tyler. So let's just say, what if Tyler actually Steve and we're not married? He's just the crown prince or something.
What
What you're
if
saying is you want an incest story to end on.
No, I've literally said that they weren't actually fucking.
So my theory
Hypothetically.
is one day Meg will be serving at her bar and a guy walking cowboy style gear and he'll be like, well, howdy lady, I'm wondering if you know a lady called Karen Lebowski and where she is. And Meg will be like, oh, who are you then? My name is Tyler Lebowski. Pleasure to meet you, ma'am. And then that's how the next arc begins.
I'm looking to play sports ball.
Basically,
looking
Tyler's a
what?
bounty hunter who's been paid to take his mum down.
You're a group of bounty
That's
hunters
good.
going to find
I like
Tyler.
that. No, I like that. Tyler. He hated that he was pressured so hard to do sports ball.
Yeah.
So he ran away and now he's going to get revenge.
I have a question. Can we talk for a minute about Tubbs' multiple personality disorder?
We absolutely can. Please continue.
Because there were moments there where it was like, no, Karen, don't smother the Vistani, where previously it'd been CSI Barovia motherfuckers fireball immediately with no recourse.
I mean-
this happened a number of times over several episodes.
Yeah, so Tubbs isn't a very well-rounded character. So the fireball incident was an accident basically. So Tubbs' sense of justice is based very much on the immediate crime he can see. As in, he doesn't have much of a long-term memory or kind of brain because he keeps getting hit on the head by people. So his justice is very much based on the fact that in that moment with the fireball, he saw a guy torturing someone, was like, hey, that guy's an asshole, I'm going to kill him. But then that guy who Karen smothered hadn't done anything wrong that he could see. So Tubbs has issues with justice in that he kind of responds to what he sees rather than what he thinks about.
That actually makes a stupid amount of sense.
Also, as we discussed during the serial segment, Tubbs is a psychopath.
What serial segment? I don't know what you mean.
Because, oh no.
Now we have to talk about it.
Yeah, cereal is not the optimal food because it's always either too soggy or too dry.
Moving on.
But yeah, Tubbs wasn't always a consistent character, but I tried to always stick to a central theme at least. The central theme of Tubbs is that Tubbs is a very reactive person. He's very spur of the moment and very much based on what he can see in front of him. Hence the last minute proposal to Karen, who he had recently decided he loved. He's very full on.
Fair play. And well done for having such a well-rounded answer to that question, which I threw at you.
Thank you. I was going to say it's almost like it's prepared, but people will think it's prepared.
Well, I have a list of questions, so I have prepared. So my
Go
next
for it.
question is for all of you. What was the best thing that you did in the campaign, and what was the best thing that somebody else did in the campaign?
I'll kick off. So my favourite thing was the only competent moment we ever had, which was in the library when all the books had been taken apart, and we realised that meant all the indexes were stacked together. So if we looked through and found like whatever we wanted was on page 23, we could only look in one stack, rather than like a couple of hundred different stacks. And that was a surprisingly competent moment.
Yeah, we figured that one out pretty quickly. It was good.
And the best
really
bit
well.
for Tubbs personally was in the penultimate episode that Tubbs was in, so the third episode from the end, where he leant on a wall and managed to smash through it like a hero.
You mean the paper wall that he fell through?
I know Tubbs was so buff he smashed the brick wall, yeah. Tubbs was fun to play because he doesn't give a shit.
Fair enough.
I think my favourite bit of another character was when Karen was riding the goat. I think that was probably the highlight of that episode.
Actually, yeah. 2 words.
No, Karen was the
Yeah,
goat.
I was riding you, that's what it was, sorry. And then you kicked me off,
Oh,
and then you went off
That was my favourite bit too.
and you attacked, oh god, Timothy.
No, it was the Swamp Witch.
Oh yeah, the Swamp Witch, yeah, that whole episode was probably my favourite episode.
That was amazing. Especially the trope of Karen is our champion, crack on.
Actually, my favourite moment is also a Karen moment when she was fighting in the ultimate fighting thing.
Oh, the fighting pit.
Oh, the
That's
werewolf
amazing.
den, yeah.
I was going to say, like, for my favourite personal bit that I did, it would probably be just the whole fight pit thing. Because
Also,
that was just fun times.
It was just the fact that
And
you
you got on top
walked
of the
in.
elves. The last session on the elves, that made me laugh so much.
and not wanting to cop out because I realised mine was actually just everyone's favourite moment. My favourite moment of a single person, 2 words, Ghost Bandits.
It's just it was Ghost Bandits tough.
Yeah, and Tubbs falling for it entirely.
Oh.
AJ, like, we were in the pyramid place
The elf.
into the room and there was a fit woman. That made me laugh.
AJ and you're a boxer elf. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
Oh,
need
I
the
thought I
pink
missed that.
gem. Right, I'll remember that. I'll be back.
Yeah. I was surprised that his wish from the Lich wasn't just, I'll stay, can I have a pink gem? Thanks.
Oh yeah, I
I-
punched a priest as well, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your best moment. That was definitely your best moment.
Oh, I forgot about
Welcome
that. Can
to
I
the
punch
club.
the priest?
Yeah.
Club
Say a
of
lot of
priest
things, but Tubbs never injured a member of the clergy.
Shall we get, like, t-shirts made?
Yes.
What? I didn't
Priest
punch the
punches.
priest, but Meg did.
Oh shit, no!
We can start a little club, me and Meg.
Surely,
Priest Punchers Anonymous.
Yes.
surely one of the greatest moments we had as a team though was breaking into the house.
Yeah,
in
that was
one of the early
mine.
episodes, the epic storming of the house to recover the bones.
Is that the one where you ended up being a ghost and fell into the cupboard and broke your head open?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
Also-
Karen tries to bash down the door and fails. Tubbs makes himself into a little table. Rosie jumps up and tries to take a run and jumps through the window, but elbows him in the head.
Yep.
Deflections
Oh,
have to make
yeah.
brain injuries.
Oh yeah.
I like that one.
One of my favourite bits, which you won't be able to appreciate because you've obviously not seen the notes writing at the time, but was the entire scene with Victor.
Oh, yeah.
And
That was my
was great.
favourite.
a lot of that was to do with this one note that is in the DM script that Nikoli has, which is literally "fuck Matt Smith,"
Yeah.
because he was my image for what Victor would look like with the
Yeah.
bow tie and the goggles and the waistcoat and all the rest of it.
My description actually for Victor does say scrawny, stick-thin, nerdy guy, sort of mid-teen,
Matt Smith,
looks
Doctor
like Matt
Who.
Smith. Fuck
Yeah.
Matt Smith.
I love that so much. That's my favourite of your DM moments, I think, is Victor.
I see. I don't know if DM-wise, if anything will get past the exasperation of us trying to kill Strahd.
The kind of, I told you what to do. You started doing it. Why have you stopped?
Everyone else was just standing there, so I thought, let's just try and stab him. Or shoot him. I was like, just stand right
Can
there.
you all convince each other that no, you shouldn't keep doing what's actually hurting them? You should start using weapons
was-
again, and I'm just like,
You guys all were like, no, I'm alright, let's
It
just
was
go.
Very cathartic.
It was. We had a lot of stuff to defend.
There is possibly one moment that might be a worse DM moment than that one,
Okay.
which is when you met Fergus for the first time after just being to the only winery in the region, and he then gives you the best wine you've ever had, which he produces out of nowhere, and you do not question it.
Oh shit. What? So what was the secret?
That was like the first opportunity you had to find the second wine gem, and you just
Oh shit! Of course.
I did say we should have a look around for it. Because I
don't
looked
know.
saw the hole in the wall. And you guys were like, yeah, we'll just go back to the thing that we've already got. And I was like, but there's another one!
I don't know if anybody's ever reviewed mystery wine before, but you don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
I also think one of the biggest things I've learned from kind of DMs and unsung heroes and people who help record is how much consternation the phrase "dragon is typing" now instills in me.
Yeah, that's so funny.
So we do this in a Discord chat, and so Dragon does like a backup recording for us, and it hangs around. And there's always a bit whenever we're doing something stupid, where it'll just say at the bottom of the thing, "Dragon is typing," and then she'll stop because she clearly wants to give us a hint to move us on. But
Oh, she just wants
that has too much
or it's
pressure.
like you're stonewalling, and she's like, how can I subtly tell you what to do?
Yeah.
Should I tell you
she's
this? I probably shouldn't. Oh fuck, they've noticed me typing.
Yeah, and it's like, I have to tell you to stop being idiots.
I will say that
Shout at you.
I feel like this is an appropriate time to give props to writers and also people who helped. So Dragon Mads and Nikoli. This was really good fun.
Yes.
And it was a really good adaptation, and it was far more interesting than normal Strahd.
Have you read Normal Strahd?
Bits of.
Right, okay.
After we'd finished, I sat down. I wanted to have a look through to see how different it was, and the answer is quite
Yes.
the answer is extensively different.
in the kind of way that I was
Yes.
like, oh, I could play that again and not know what was going on.
Yes.
Half knowing that Zarevich is
It's that
Strahd.
different. The first couple of episodes are very much tied to
Yeah.
the original. I think everything after Irina disappears in Kresk, pretty much everything after that is
Sorry, who disappears in Crest?
Owen Wilson. Sorry, Shania Twain. It was Shania Twain at the time. But everything basically up to that point was mostly in the book, and I adapted it slightly, moved bits around, and then everything after that was just mostly my own lunacy.
Oh shit, we're gonna get a bunch of complaints. Because I forgot to mention what Jason was doing in the epilogue.
Do you want to just mention it now? What happened to Jason?
So Jason lives at the castle with Archie because like Archie's his little sidekick, and I don't know what Karen's done with Archie, but I suspect she's still just locked up because Karen, I imagine, hates her but can't do anything about her because she's immortal.
Really having an affair with Archie?
No. So no,
Yes,
so
he
they-
was.
No, wait, he wasn't.
That's why he was exiled. Yes, he was.
It was a crude ploy by Karen, who happened to be there as Tubbs walked in with 2 portrait artists and 3 witnesses.
I've
Archie was
obviously
tied
managed
to
to
the bed,
convince
was she
somebody.
not?
Yeah, that's just because Tubbs is a freaking bed.
How would you know, Karen?
Yeah, Karen.
If we didn't give it up for Tubbs.
Because he kept asking such unreasonable things of me.
Unreasonable things.
Like, can we share a bed tonight?
I
Your husband
Yeah,
won't share your bed.
Can I see your
Karen
ankle?
is a pure. Karen is a pure.
Yeah,
Karen
don't-
is a pure maiden.
Don't chat shit about Karen. She's saving herself, she told me.
Saving
Her
herself
ninth husband.
even more now marriage has happened.
It's
Can
a
we all
sacred
also-
purification ritual.
I would like just to discuss Ozmand's slow descent into like madness, not madness, just depression.
Depression.
To the point where he just gave up and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna saw this guy's arm off, I guess.
I think you all
So good.
hated Izek. I mean, I understand why, but all of you took against him immediately.
Yeah, that was against Izek. It was creepy.
Yeah.
Because Izek wasn't he was a dick.
I mean, let's be honest.
Terrible.
That was I don't know what happened in our lives that day, but that was a dark episode.
It was a fun episode.
really
I
was.
loved the
Oh,
fact
it's
that
dumb.
Meg just sat down and started painting the little faces of the dolls with his blood.
Yeah.
It
I
literally
was
was gallows humour of the episode.
So dark.
No, but you see, they don't understand it because that's one of the things that I personally kind of want to shake you all and say, wake up, because you missed this bit. You missed quite a lot of things that you could have done on. But
Yes,
this is
yes,
the one
they did.
that-
They missed several things, and I deliberately
yes.
didn't poke them that they
What?
missed them.
Yeah.
What
I
do
know,
you-
but this one really annoyed me because it was the dolls.
If nothing else, we miseried a woman in a bed and left her to burn to death.
Which is the best thing to do in D&D.
That's
I mean-
a win if I ever heard of one.
We absolutely, 100% filled the brief of murder hobos. Hi, Meg.
Sorry.
Apparently the dolls were important.
It's just like, it's one of those things that you missed, which I really wish you hadn't looked at because you would have got more out of it, and anybody who's read the books will know it. But the dolls over time were getting more and more and more looking like Irina, which means when you got to them, half the dolls would have been like Owen Wilson and half would have been like Shania Twain. And that would have been like when Tubbs did his call it for fan art. There's now just this picture in my head of these dolls surrounding Izek, which all look like Owen Wilson.
So why do they all look like Owen Wilson?
Because
They
he
said
was,
they look like Owen Wilson though. They did.
Because Izek has a thing where he keeps seeing her in his dreams, and he doesn't know who she is, and he keeps asking the toy maker to make dolls that look like her.
I guess this is the downside of not making friends with Izek and just immediately assuming he's a bad guy. In my mind, dream pastries are because they're a very severe high, they're a very quick kind of come down and addiction breaking kind of loop. So you can kind of get hooked to them and get unaddicted very quickly.
They're hallucinogenic. That's the basic description of them.
So Tubbs' extreme reaction, because I'm aware he had a very extreme arc over the course of about a day and a half where he got addicted and supplementary, then became an advocate for anti-dream pastries. Tubbs, as many of you may have noticed, has never really engaged in anything fun ever. He lived on his farm on his own, and he made furniture, and he occasionally had nail, and that was kind of it. So Tubbs got a degree of freedom and kind of like power, and it just absolutely went to his head.
I kinda imagine dream pastries kinda look like, you know, like a jam tart,
Yeah,
but instead of like shortcrust pastry, it's like puff pastry.
yeah.
And
That sounds
there's
really
probably
nice.
like a little cherry on the top.
They're like kind of latticey, I think, if I'm in my
I
head.
kind of picture them as cinnamon rolls. Or cinnamon swirls even, Danish pastries.
I picture them as Cornish pasties.
Well, each
Oh.
interpretation to their own.
Can meat be hallucinogenic? Can you have a hallucinogenic meat?
Probably.
Well, as I said, the book says that they were just made from the bones of children, and this magically made them hallucinogenic. But I changed a lot of it in my one. You probably noticed that the Lich gave people powers.
Yeah.
That's entirely my writing to make these people have a reason why
Okay.
they have power.
What was the Lich's original purpose then?
The Lich is just a guy in the end
He's
of...
a guide in the Amber Temple.
The Amber Temple is
okay.
basically just this big amber building, and the Lich is just there being like, hi. He doesn't do anything.
I think you'll find you mean the Temple of Light.
I also changed it from being an Amber Temple to being a Black Pyramid because I felt it was much more...
Yeah, I done
appropriate.
that.
Goth.
Can I
Yeah.
ask a question of you?
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming the cart that showed up and took us off at the end was the CSI Barovia cart.
Yes.
Who stole it from the Black's Pyramid and how did it come back?
I told you they would ask this. I told
Yeah,
you they
he
would.
did.
Ghost Bandit.
Wait, what do you think happened to Victavio? That's the first question.
I would
I think he's
imagine.
dead.
No, I think he escaped because so we met his panther, didn't we?
Yeah.
He's so magic. I think he's alright.
So either he's
He's the
transformed himself
panther.
into something, or yes, maybe he's the panther.
The thing with Victavio is, Victavio, when you got back to Kresk, all you heard from Esmeralda was Victavio had left to follow you.
Mhm.
What had actually happened is Victavio had left to follow you. Herody was basically being hunted and got distracted by killing the Great Goat.
Okay.
And Victavio, being the master of disguise he is by, just using his name, as his disguise is the one on the cart driving at the end wearing the goat skin.
So I assumed that was... I thought that was going to be the Great Goat who had been transformed back into a person.
No, it was the Great Goat's been killed because Victavio was a beast hunter, but he didn't do any beast hunting, which I was like, he probably should do some beast hunting. So I was like, he sees a giant goat and goes, yeah, I'll kill that.
If the Great Goat turned back into a person and was wearing a goat skin, does that mean it was wearing its own skin?
I don't know, because I didn't write that, so I don't know.
But also, speaking of the cart, what was the sigil for?
Yeah, what was the...
I'll let Tubbs explain that, because I refuse to tell anyone else about that.
It's probably easier if I read the message that I sent. So I sent Nikolai a PM on Discord. Let me find it. So I will read what I said to Nikolai exactly, otherwise it might get confusing.
Yeah, just when you get to the end of the first paragraph, let me know.
Okay, so I said, it does nothing. I'm just all about the tension. It's also a deterrent, hoping people will be like, it's spooky as fuck.
Yep.
Alright then.
Did, by any chance, when he then put it on and rolled to put it on, he somehow accidentally created like a flare rune or something that would blow people up?
No.
Oh, okay, because that would just be an amazing double bluff, that would have been.
That would have been incredible, and Tubbs would have been just as surprised as anyone else, but then probably stunted it out, because that's who he is. But yeah, so no, it was just an affectation to try and scare people off from stealing our car, and it clearly didn't work because someone stole our car.
Ghost bandits.
Ghost bandits stole our car.
Do any of the rest of you have questions about things that you might have missed or wanted answers to?
Oh, I do. So, what would have happened if Meg hadn't have killed Shania Twain / Owen Wilson / that girl?
Nothing.
So, what was the purpose of the tomb?
Right. The original story with that is that Irina's looking for Sergei, and in Kresk, she gets pulled through this lake, which is exactly what it says in the book. That's literally what happens to her. But she appears in Sergei's tomb, which is in Strahd's castle, and she's just sitting around in Sergei's tomb.
Okay.
Nothing really happens. So
the creepy
what
hand
I
is
decided
Sergei, right?
to do with it is I decided to have it just a sort of reunion thing if they got back together.
Right, okay.
And it was just a sort of trying to be a nice, happy point, and you were going to be like, oh, that's Owen Wilson. That's very weird you got there. I wasn't expecting you to stab her through the head.
With what you did not know at the time were soul weapons, not at all holy in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
So, what you're saying is no harm, no foul?
Yep.
Way!
Yay! Next off the hook.
Way!
Nobody tell AJ.
Yeah.
Oh no! That's cruel.
Okay, question number 2. Are squeeze boxes now sexy?
Yep.
Huzzah!
If AJ's not here to say no, let's have a vote. Counter penance.
I'm here to say no.
Those in favour, say aye.
Aye!
Those opposed, say nay.
Nah. That's still
The
1
eyes
to 1.
have it.
The
No,
ayes have
that's
it.
still 1 to 1.
Everyone else thinks it is, but was just too nervous to say aye in case no one else did.
I said I.
Okay. The eyes have it.
Yeah. The
So-
ayes have it, the ayes have it.
Any other questions?
I want to know, was there ever a drummer?
That's up to Ozmand. You have to ask Ozmand.
That is up to Ozmand, actually, yes.
Ooh, tension.
I did make several suggestions during the course, but they were repeatedly turned down. But this person could be a drummer? No.
No.
I suppose it would have created a whole new NPC who would have had to come with us everywhere
No.
or die.
Yep.
Well, yes.
Also just have like a snare drum. All in a
Just
marching.
no, it was background noise. It wasn't needed.
I've got a symbol.
I've got a triangle and a kazoo.
But Symbol played the guitar.
So, y'all wrote this thing. What do you guys think is the biggest thing that we did that changed the course of the campaign? As in, like, is there something massive we missed that changed everything, or
I
something
actually predicted 95% of what you did.
Oh, what didn't you predict then?
You stabbing Owen Wilson for one. It was all minor stuff. Like, I didn't expect you to be obsessed with property. But the majority of what your decisions would be and where I thought you would go, most of it was about what I thought. Mainly because I've been around Belry for so long, I kind of predicted that Belry will want to do this because it's Belry.
Yeah,
so if I
Belry's
assume that everyone else will do that as well, then it'll be fine.
What exactly is that supposed to...
Belry is a terrible influence on me. Like, I am a nice person.
I mean,
think-
I
was there
think it was
anything else
Meg
that I
that was the
wasn't
worst
expecting?
influence sometimes.
There's probably some little things, but as I said, for the most part, I kind of predicted quite well. The first few episodes were harder because, as I said, they were closer to the book. There was things I had to include, like I wanted to rewrite things like the little girl getting killed at Vallaki, because I don't like the way the book did it. You fighting the guard, the Vistani as well.
I mean,
It's
you
just
say
like,
fighting, I just tried to
sure.
punch him, it just... Tubbs is superpowered. So it's
Yeah.
not-
I think the biggest thing they did that changed anything was continually drag NPCs into it. So, like, for example, the bag of cats, which were actually people.
Bag of cats was hilarious.
Yeah, the let's take... Right, thing is that once you did the let's take everything with you, I said to Mads they're going to take the mirror with them at the end, and she said, no, they're not. And you did. And I went, yep, I knew this for exactly.
It was a magic mirror.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Good
Yeah.
was our escape from jail.
I was
Right.
expecting that one to be a bit different, because I wasn't expecting you literally just as soon as you saw Isaac to just dogpile him. I expected Isaac to be terrorizing and
Yeah.
maybe you'd injure him,
We
and then
had a
he was
plan for
going to
Isaac.
be back. He was going to be brought in front of Strahd and killed by Strahd because he'd let you get away. But when you just dogpiled and killed him, I was like, well, saves me a job.
That's probably is the biggest change because that was like 2 episodes in the future we were going to kill Isaac, but you'd already done it.
Yay! That's awesome.
Can we, just one last time, hear the sound of Stella crying? I'm not gonna miss that noise.
Tell your mom's dead.
We were so
Actually-
sensitive about it.
My favourite accent of the lot of them had to be Nikoli doing the hippies.
Yeah.
My sort of
Yeah, that
southern
one.
drawl hippie.
Yep.
The massive hippie versus werewolf fight. What the fuck?
It's Mother Nature, man. You gotta love it.
Do you remember when we dressed Karen up as Mother Nature?
You mean made a mask out of a leaf?
And then threw some sparks around?
Best thing of that episode was definitely the inviting Tubbs to an orgy and Tubbs most Englishly, politely just like
Oh gosh,
declining.
fellas, that's grand. I'm going to go over there now.
Tubbs has the sensitive side who's saving himself for the right woman.
Still.
Karen. He's still married. Karen will get him out of prison.
Still waiting.
Did Karen get you a ring, Tubbs?
No. No. Don't be daft.
Oh,
So
God.
Karen and Tubbs like to play a little game called Who Are You? Where if they were in public together, Karen would pretend not to know Tubbs. It was one of the many little games they play to keep the spice in their marriage.
God. Any other questions?
It's not
I
a
don't-
question, but I want to point out a thing that could have happened, which we planned for, but didn't actually get to happen. Which
What?
was if they hadn't used the potion on Jason, if they'd used it on one of them.
Oh, yeah. The contingency plan. I was like, they're going to use it on Jason.
Yes.
But in case they don't.
Oh, it's just a tracking potion.
Yeah. The tracking potion was going to be that any direction you look, you smell burning except the direction you're meant to go by the crow flies. So it was going to be all you can smell is this horrific, acrid burning constantly, like you feel you can't breathe unless you're facing the right way. In which case you're
I
fine.
mean, to be fair, I probably would have just assumed that was Meg.
I was just about to say.
But yeah,
Right,
if you poured it over Karen, it would have been hilarious because basically it would have been Karen trying to sort of like stagger her way along with this tiny window of where she can breathe.
I'd like to just throw a big shout out to the team as well about how well we dealt with the goats.
Yes.
Oh god.
I loved those goats, they were awesome. That's why Tubbs went back to try and find them. By the way, Tubbs is Matt is very aware that all the goats transformed back into people, and that the goat he found wasn't actually a goat transformed philosopher, it was just literally a goat.
Ah.
So
I figured
what
that
you're
was-
saying is it was okay when you hinted at the fact that you fucked one of them.
I didn't hint the fact I fucked them.
No,
I
because
don't-
that's what I thought you were hinting at. When you
That's
said,
not what I-
and they taught me other things.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Tubbs didn't have sex with a goat. He's saving.
That's probably for the best.
It's canon. Tubbs is saving himself for Karen.
Cough, cough, Welsh jokes, cough, cough.
I-
I read it right. I read a thing about where the whole Welsh people fuck sheep thing comes from. It's because back in the day when like people stealing sheep was a big thing, in England it was punishable by death if you stole a sheep. So people would go, the police would be like, where, what, so this then, you stealing that sheep? And then go, no. Just fuck it. That was legal.
So fucking a sheep was legal, but stealing it wasn't.
I don't know who wouldn't get killed for it.
Right.
Fair enough.
And that's
Right.
where the stereotype that Welsh people like to have sex with sheep comes from.
So what you're saying is the Welsh are filthy sheep stealers.
Yes.
Or that
And we'll
English
do
people
anything
put
to
on
avoid
Welsh
death.
accents in order to escape death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to apologise on that note to anyone who's Welsh. I am aware my Welsh accent isn't good, based it on a friend who I work with who frequently laughs at how bad my Welsh accent is. So she said it was fine, and therefore it's fine and it's not racist because I have a Welsh friend.
I really enjoyed your Welsh accent, and I remember telling Nikoli, like for episode 2, episode 2 you kind of lost it a bit, and I remember telling him episode 3, tell Tubbs to amp up the Welsh again, it was brilliant.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was at times questionable.
Yeah.
To be fair, everything at times was questionable.
Yeah, fair.
I do remember that in episode 2. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I also distinctly remember in the last episode going a bit Geordie. I'm really struggling to keep it on Welsh.
On the subject of accents, I do remember Nikolai telling me, "Oh, you'll never keep up that accent for the whole thing."
That's true.
And
Can we get
I'd
around
just
applause
like
for
to
Belry?
I would just like to extend a quick fuck you.
You did keep up the accent for the entire time, but you kind of stopped using the Urban Dictionary. I was looking
true.
forward to
That
my
is
new
true.
words all the time. You
Yeah.
It was episode
It's
4 you
because-
stopped looking up the Urban Dictionary.
Cubs Wallop or something like
Kinda.
that.
It wasn't Urban Dictionary, but I kind of exhausted all the sources that I'd found. Because most of them were just kind of a lot of English sayings. Like bull in a china shop and stuff like that. So it's just sounds English to me. Cattywampus though is still the most stupid word I've ever
Cattywampus.
heard in the entire
That was
life.
it.
And yet, do you know what? I'm really sad to say, but my favourite thing I've learned phrase-wise is still going to be, I'm going to go and plant my dad.
Told you they'd love that.
You did. And to be fair, I had to pause it to stop laughing so I could listen to it the whole way through. It was like, I knew exactly what you were saying. It's like they were making such a big deal of it. It was glorious.
Yep.
But your adaptation of Ismark as a drunk Glaswegian was perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Ismark doesn't make sense in the book.
He doesn't. He is a loophole. There is something wrong with Ismark.
I was really surprised how long with the baby stabbing thing lasted. I didn't expect it to stick quite.
Especially, I also enjoy the fact that everyone's forgotten, and I'm going to remind everyone now, out of fair course, that if you remember correctly from episode 1, Tubbs told us to do it. So Tubbs did an Arcana check on it and found that it was just like some kind of, it wasn't a baby, it was like a magic thing, it was like a spirit or something. And so it was like, don't worry, you can stab it, it's not an actual baby. And AJ stabbed it, and then Tubbs made the joke about how...
No, then it made a crying noise, and you all went,
Oh, sorry,
"Fuck."
yeah.
Made a crying noise.
There was no actual stabbing. He poked it and then he pulled the blankets open.
Yeah. So basically, the first baby stabbing wasn't a baby stabbing, and it wasn't initiated by AJ.
First and indeed only baby stabbing was not actually happened.
Well, there was the one in the there's one in the witch's little Baba Yaga style house.
That's exactly the same thing, but it wasn't us either.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it died in my arms, that one.
The original Death House is a mess.
It's very vertical, too many rooms in it.
Yes, it's expecting you to do things like the kids are outside, they just wander around, they don't feel like real kids. You
They
need
don't
to work
appear
out
throughout
where
the house again.
you need to work out where the key is, and if you do get into their room, you find there's a model of a house, and that tells you where the secret doors are. That's the only way to find them. The kids then are ghosts. As soon as you open the door, you find them in ghosts. And they can haunt the party and possess them and make them cry and have fits and stuff like that. And what you're meant to do is take the bodies of the children down to the cellar and put them in graves. But I just didn't understand why you'd think that their graves will be in the cellar.
Yeah.
And it just felt so broken, I guess.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense.
But yeah, I wrote them much more as ghosts rather than souls.
I enjoyed that more than the one you've just described.
Yeah, there's lots of weird things about Death House that just don't make sense. Also, the end of Death House I completely changed as well because I hate it. The original Death House is meant to end with you deal with the beast, you sort of poke the beast and the beast goes rah, and you meant to run away, and every doorway is meant to change into sliding blades, every fireplace is meant to have gas coming out of it.
Okay.
There's 5-6 more traps go off, and it's basically just rolling to get through traps for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's
And
That's a bit, yeah.
it felt really cop out. Didn't feel like it should suit the
it was
start
also
of the story.
yeah, it was also good it was that much narrative led because I think it gave us a really good chance to kind of get stuck into our characters.
Yeah.
the group pile on the priest's demonic son.
Yeah, I felt by the start of week 3 you'd kind of clicked as a group.
If there was a time that we bonded and really started going downhill, that was it.
I did not expect when I listened to it. I mean, I thought you would somehow deal with Dory the priest's son. I did not expect the WWE SmackDown that Karen delivered.
And then the spanking of Tubbs after.
The spanking of Tubbs was hilarious.
That set it apart from everything else.
That's when Taran really started as an OTP.
My OTP was not Taran. My OTP never came to be.
What was your OTP?
OTP?
My OTP was...
I don't know what OTP means.
You like your
What
favorite
does OTP mean?
one repairing.
So it's your favorite couple.
Your ship
Yeah.
was Tammy with Archie.
Yeah, I didn't like the idea of it. I thought it felt too monster falling in love with that thing. No.
It would have been a nice bit of inclusivity though.
Nah,
Because as I had to remind everyone, every time anyone mentioned Archie, Archie was female, as I had to remind every person, everyone they talked to or about her.
That's because you called her Archie.
I didn't call her Archie, her name was Archie.
Can't remember why you ended up calling her Archie. But anyway. Mad Mary.
Oh, the creepy house lady whose daughter we found.
What was that about?
Mad Mary
We just went in and then just left, and it was like nothing was happening.
Yeah.
See, in the book, as it's written, as you play it, you're kind of allowed to go to the Castle Ravenloft at any time you like.
Yeah, the whole thing is that you're meant to go Castle Ravenloft wherever you like, and you're meant to find Gertruda in Strahd's bedchamber.
Oh, dark.
Yeah. Mad Mary is also meant to be a side quest of just this upset woman.
Which, to be fair, I remember Oz noting that's now a side quest, like it's in the quest log.
Yeah. But no,
My original thought she was a banshee.
When we did it, I just kind of felt that our character should be this distraught old woman that people have given up caring because all she does is cry. She doesn't seem to be bothering to go anywhere. She's just this consumed by grief. But there's also a lot of other sinister shit going on. Like, in the book, I think she does keep her daughter captive. Not the same.
Not in the basement, but yes.
Not in the basement, but she keeps her daughter captive. And
if I recall, that was one of the few times we showed actual compassion towards another person during the campaign.
Yes. And yeah, she's very strange. It's a very weird side quest because literally you just bump into the daughter in Strahd's bedchamber and go, "You're Gertruda," and she goes, "Yes, I should go back to my mother," and then that's it.
Yeah, that's lame.
There's not really much you can do. But the book itself is meant to be a lot more like bouncing here, there, and everywhere, whereas I tried to do block story and block places, and then you go like boom, 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 rather than you have to spend 10 minutes travelling to Krez to come back to Vallaki to go on to Town of Barovia to come back to Vallaki to go back to Krez, and it just felt, no.
I enjoyed the flow as it was, it made sense to me.
Yeah, it was a lot more coherent and it flowed a lot better that way. I don't think the jumping around, it would have probably confused us a bit more as well.
Yeah. The father being dead, I didn't really understand why. I think in the book he's been dead 3 months.
Days, it's days.
Is it days? I thought it was longer than days.
No, it's literally 3 days, and they've built the coffin, but because everybody's just shut into their homes, they can't get anybody to help bear him to the church.
Also, the house is under attack by Strahd.
He's been dead 3 days. Get over it, God.
Yeah, Strahd keeps attacking because he wants to remove basically Irena's guardians from protecting her, but it just didn't feel like it fit right, because it felt like it was like, yes, our father would die, but they've kept him on the living room table for 3 days. Why have they done that? Well, no one will help bury him. Why will no one help bury him? Well, there's all this going on. It didn't make sense, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Was it wolves that you had was keeping everyone in the end?
I think I had it as wolves, but I think in the book it's like vampire attack and stuff like that.
It's vampire spawn and wolves. There's slash and claw mark everywhere.
So the other thing I didn't like is you can take the body and you go to the church, and the church is just meant to be this walk-in church, but it's got all these scratches on the door, which doesn't really, again, make sense. That why would you have the scratches on the door and the door's open? And then we come to the one bit that I really hated, which was when you walk in, you hear the scream of Doru from the trapdoor, and in the book it just says there's a scream. What do you do? And it assumes that you're going to bypass the scream and go speak to the priest who's right at the other end, and then come back. And also, Ismark isn't meant to be with you. She just stays in the pub and tells you, go speak to my sister, then do what she wants. So it felt like it wasn't telling the story properly. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, I think that's mostly suggestion for Ismark, and that you can pick him up as an NPC. To be fair, although I have come round to your way of thinking of that should be more obvious and the scream should have been dealt with differently.
Yeah, so then there was Doru, who's just Doru. He's basically almost exactly the same as he is in the book. He's just this child that's been turned into a vampire and kept below. The only thing he didn't have in the book was I had him just basically insulting people because he's trying to pull them into talking to him.
And he managed with Karen.
Yeah, well that's because Karen, in fairness, was the easiest one in character to basically poke with a stick and say, "Come on then."
Yeah, but you didn't expect. Didn't expect the outcome.
He's benched from sports ball.
Yeah, Tyler's sports ball career went down after this episode.
I'ma beat you like your mama never did.
Yeah.
I quite like that line.
That was good.
I quite like that line.
In the book, either you can bury them, but there's this procession that goes through somehow to Castle Ravenloft of this last exhibition of people that tried to take down Strahd. I didn't see the point in it. I just thought the people would be much more like, I'm not going outside till morning, so wait till morning or fuck off. Because that felt much more like what people would do if they know there's ghosts out there and people they knew and stuff like that and haunting. They wouldn't want to see them. They would keep away from them.
Yeah, the ghosts are Mordekainen's attack on the castle. He raised up an army to go and do that, and this is why you find him later broken. But this is also why Ismark doesn't make sense in the book, because Ismark has been training to take down Strahd to protect his sister. So he would have been a part of that procession, surely.
You'd think so. But...
Yeah.
Did we not have a whole thing about the songs though, and that's why we call her Shania Twain?
No,
Yeah,
you called her
you kept
Shania
doing
Twain,
puns
and then
about
you tried
songs.
to get all the puns in of her songs, which you could
Actually-
only remember two.
Yeah.
I love you all, but not in a sexy way. Sorry, Karen. Do you want let me record some sound bites for you if you need to. Haha, yeah, that was my favourite bit too. I don't know, I think I disagree. Yeah, that bit was key to Tubbs' character development, I think. There you go, you can now just drop those in anything and it's fine.
Bye bye.
The bell tolls. The end is nigh. This podcast is an adaptation of Curse of Strahd, a 5th edition D&D adventure. It was adapted from the original story by Nikoli Popsky. The podcast features Nikoli, Amy, Belry, AJ, Lexa, and Matt. All music was written and performed by Boström. Artwork was by John Moore.